Welcome everyone. We're going to get started here. You've noticed some of the designs that have been submitted to this competition scrolling on screen as people were collecting. So and displayed here on screen also is our agenda for this evening. So you all have programs with this information in, so I'll transition on from introduction to myself, James Hubbard, and I'm here to welcome you all to the Universal Design Grand Challenge. So we're here to celebrate and award great designs from top students from colleges across Ireland. So the designs that you've seen presented and scrolling up here are a collection that were submitted to our international judges. So we'll get started and continue. And I mentioned that this Universal Design Grand Challenge is operated by the Center for Excellence in Universal Design at the National Disability Authority under its remit in Irish legislation. Also displayed on screen is the social media account tags for this evening, and that's also printed on the front cover of your brochure. So we are seeing more universal design occurring, and we're working on that all the time in participating in national and European standards projects. And this is being implemented through an international policy. So the way to start out an evening like this, I thought, is to go back to the 70s. One of the mentors and first textbooks I ever used for my students was from a man named Victor Papanek. And in those days, he was challenging the design community with statements like, the only important thing about design is how it relates to people. Design for the real world was still a very popular, highly sold text. And today we see this evolving into many more practitioners realizing that participation of key stakeholders in all stages of design is really one of the secrets to success. Other concepts that we want to make sure that we're thinking about tonight is that most people think of design as a noun, a thing, an artifact, a place, but we also know it as a verb, the act of designing, something we all do almost all the time, every day. And further, we know that good design enables and bad design disables. I prepared an image slide here that kind of depicts one of my elevator speeches, and it shows a simple mechanical connector we know as a common key, transitioning through time where early keys would only go in one way, and then later the automotive industry gave us a key that's symmetrical that would go in both ways. Although the latest key on the market is a USB key, and unfortunately, it only goes in one way. And the simplest mathematical equation and the most conservative estimates suggest that we're wasting over 7 million hours per year on that design. So this is what we're here about. And one example only, in the 1990s, some design principles and guidelines called the Universal Design Set was established to help prompt people to use these as resources at all different stages of design processes. And the most important thing to recall about these, and we still use these here, is that not all of these design principles apply to all designs. They're just there to help populate and inform the criteria sets that you use in design decision processes. We'll talk more about those later. In Ireland, universal design is the design and composition of an environment so that can be accessed, understood, and used to the greatest extent possible by all people, regardless of their age, their size, their ability, or disability. It's about an approach to promoting more accessibility and usability in the built environment, in products, in services, and in ICT systems. How did we get here? So this event tonight is founded on 3 years of operating 24-hour Universal Design Challenge events. These events would operate an intense design period. Many of you here were involved in these. At the end of 24 hours of an intensive, nonstop design period, there would be a 2-hour awards event evening, kind of like you're at tonight. This year we've changed to running a Universal Design Grand Challenge. So in further preparation for this evening, the last couple of years we've been very involved in Universal Design categories in awards. So we currently have a category in the IDI Awards, in the RIAI Awards, and the e-Government Awards. We've also been doing some national research projects that have resulted in publications, and depicted in the image that you see here is a stand that was put up outside of the IDI exhibition last fall. And on that table there's a sign that reads, "Congratulations to Irish designers for making an impact with Universal Design." And on that table there's numerous publications. Again, many of you here have helped with those projects. And these are about building for everyone, about human body size, impact on design, customer services for energy suppliers, and the tourism industry, and many, many more, and more to come that are in the works. So that brings us to tonight, the Universal Design Grand Challenge. It's a design competition that has invited students from the final 2 years of study in third level and postgrad courses from schools in Ireland to enter their best student project to compete for 2 national Universal Design Student Awards. It's about promoting universal design in third level education across Ireland. And another image I show is a series of posters that were created to launch this call for entries in February. Many of you in here would have seen these posters and poster tubes arrive to put up this, and additionally there's numerous resources on websites, and a social media campaign was operated. And the students responded to this entry process in 2 stages. First of all, they submitted an expression of interest form, and that was just a brief highlight of the design that they chose to enter. That was followed up by a second stage entry form where they could submit their formal image files that you'll see tonight. They made some statements on universal design. They declared their informed consent and their intellectual property rights of these designs that you'll see this evening. Now, these designs that we have received were all sent to the international judges, and what you see is a list of names on screen of 10 world experts that are champions of universal design. And I'm going to ask you to join me to thank them for their time, and a quick applause for their time right now. Thank you. Very good. So that's a virtual thank you that'll be on a video of this event. So we'll move on from that. And I said Universal Design submissions, chose to 7 finalists and 2 trophies. And the trophy was created for each of the winners this evening. And the trophy was decided to be created on the badge that we've been using for 7 years. It's actually a C shape of a magenta color that represents our center. And inside of that is a green C shape about the built environment. And inside of that is a purple C shape that's about the products and services we use in those environments. And core to it in the center is about information and communication systems. And so that shape and that image was turned into something with a bit of depth. And further, it was stretched and stood up. And tonight it stands to present for you these 3D printed Universal Design Award trophies, the Judge's Choice Award and the People's Choice Award. So to conclude, I'd like to thank you all for coming, participating in this event. I wish the best of luck to all of the finalists. I hope you all enjoy this awards event, and thank you for your attention.